You have tuned in for another episode of the Beardown Corner. Here is your host, Sergeant Cornholio. Welcome, everyone. We are here for another episode of the Beardown Corner. I am your host, Sergeant Cornholio, and this is episode 9, recap of week 16, getting you ready for week 17. Little bit of a difference this week as we are doing this on the eve. Literally as we talk, the New Orleans are taking on the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay, but we are doing our episode right now. Why? Because it's the holiday season and we all want to be with our loved ones. And I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a happy whatever you're celebrating, because honestly, you just want to spend time with family and cherish the great things and all the little things. But let's get at it, because, that's what we're here for, some football, right? So week 16 recap. We had the Los Angeles Chargers beating the Denver Broncos at home in what was a very good tilt, hard-fighting battle. Final score, 34-27. Ladd McConkey owners rejoice as he got his 14.7, so he was 0.5 above expected this week according to NFL.com. But who dropped 5 points was Cortland Sutton with 5 catches for 50 yards. But hey, you know what? Life happens and it is what it is. So yeah, Bo Nix had a good game though. He came forward for fantasy owners in their playoff week, so hopefully that did you well. Moving along, Saturday's games. Houston in KC. Kansas City beat the Houston Texans 27-19. Now, Nico Collins put up 13 fantasy points. I think it was like 5 catches, 67 yards. I don't know, something like that. 7 catches. Either way, he had a calmer night. Now, Kansas City's defense, though, they're just something else this season. They're going hard. They're coming at you. But, hey, they got outbeat by Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the Kansas City. So the Chiefs are moving along. Patty Mahomes is fuck the injury, and he's just playing. So enjoy that, Chiefs fans. You had Pittsburgh going into Baltimore, losing 17 to Baltimore's 34. The Ravens are ready. They've outrushed. Here's an interesting fact. They have outrushed every single opponent this season. 15 games, and they've outrushed every single opponent. They're ready. I think Derrick Henry was that missing piece, and if he isn't, then man, it's going to be a sad offseason, but they're trying to put themselves in the best position they can. So good luck, Raven fans. Following up from there, we have the Sunday games. Chicago lost again, 34-17 at home against the Detroit Lions. Cleveland lost 24-7 in Cincinnati. Interesting fact, interesting little story. So we're gonna do a little bit of intertwining here when we do this. So some of the around the league stories and news will be interpreted into Week 16 follow-up. So Myles Garrett, the defensive end, Cleveland Browns, recorded his 100th sack this Sunday, becoming the youngest defensive end or defensive player to score 100 sacks since it became an actual stat in 1963. Good for you, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson. Myles Garrett. Sorry, my bad. Recent report about Myles Garrett, though. He's going to be turning 29 next week. And he's come out and just told the Browns brass, hey, I don't want to be in another rebuild. So if that's what it's going to be this offseason, ship me out. I don't want any part of it. I agree. He is an elite defensive player. He looks like an actual 2000s lineman, defensive end, and he's just bull rushing these guys like they're nothing. So don't do him dirty. Go upgrade the quarterback, because Deshaun Watson isn't going to be the goddamn answer. Get yourself some actual health and stability at backups, and let's go for a run at it. You seen what you can do with Jameis Winston if you get rid of the goddamn turnovers. You seen what Jerry Jeudy can do in the offense. Just get a guy who can deliver the fucking ball. Maybe Sam Darnold? Who knows? Anyway, that is the Browns' outlook for the future. Moving in, we have the New York Giants losing to the Atlanta Falcons. Shootout to my man Super Suit on kick. Check him out. Atlanta Falcons fan. They won with Michael Penix Jr. in at quarterback this week as he got the start over Kirk Cousins. They're now 8-7. And due to the Sunday Night Football loss of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Dallas Cowboys, which was a 26-24 upset in my opinion, they just outplayed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now they got the lead. They have the tiebreaker over Buccaneers for the division. So if they hold on the next 2 weeks, Atlanta takes the division and they're in. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy the shit that's going on, man. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Moving along, in that game, by the way, Tyrone Tracy owners, which today he was listed as questionable. Who knows what's going to happen during the week. He dealt with an ankle injury all last week. He caught a touchdown and went for 16 plus points in that game in their only touchdown. So good job, Tyrone Tracy. Keep it up. Hope to God you get a quarterback soon. Tennessee and Indy, man. Whoo! Jonathan Taylor this week, 3 touchdowns, 218 yards on the ground on 29 attempts and whatever he had for fucking catches. Doesn't matter. He had 3 touchdowns. The man scored like 39 points, just led the shit out of him. Now keep in mind, this was against Tennessee. Their defense is suspect in certain areas and they're really good. But at the end of the day, they got the loss and Indy got the W, keeping them in the playoff race along with them Cincinnati Bengals, who also won their game against Cleveland, as we already talked about. Carolina upsetting, I felt, Arizona this week. Overtime, 36-30. Trey McBride held to shit. 5 points total. 2 catches, 20 yards, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. He shit the bed this week for fantasy owners. Thank you for the long haul, though, this year. Much appreciated. Wish you could have helped me out in the championship, though. So hopefully he does something for the rest of us next week, though, because I still got him on a few other teams. Carolina picks up the win, 36-30. Philly, and you have the Washington Commanders in a hell of an NFC East title or matchup game. 36-33. The way this game ended was Jaden Daniels put his fucking Superman cape on, ripped it open, 5 touchdowns. They scored, I think it was with 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Just astronomical, man. They pounded that comeback like they wanted it so bad and they needed it. They're 1 win away. 1 win away from securing a playoff spot. But the crazy thing is they're already 10-5. Green Bay's 10-4 and still have to win to clinch a spot. It is so tight in the NFC this year. Holy shit balls. Yeah, Philly loses to Washington in Washington, 36-33. We have the Los Angeles Rams, who had an all right day, all in all, winning 19-9 against the New York Jets. New York Jets on top of that. Here's a little story news for you. They, with Mr. Aaron Rodgers, threw for his 499th touchdown pass to none other than Davante Adams. So, nice achievement milestone this week. Also coming out on the Pat McAfee show saying that here's a little fun tidbit of the week for the New York Jets and their whole tomfuckery they got going on. Aaron Rodgers comes out, talks about how funny it would be to see the New York Jets management owners of his sons. Okay, these are the same sons who didn't want to sign Jerry Jeudy in the offseason because his Madden rating was too fucking low. This is all in reports. It's out there. You want to look it, check it, but I've already seen and read my shit. It's stupid that your owner, Woody Johnson, is letting these fucking clowns, no wonder they're a shit show. He has his 2 sons operating on a Madden basis? Get the fuck out of here, man. That'll be the new segment this week. Get the fuck out of here. He says it's a joke if they were to release him in the offseason because it's like they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, which honestly it sounds like they don't. But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers, you got some things you got to change. Now, he did mention a good thing that I felt is going in the right direction if he's to stay in New York. Because otherwise, I feel he should be shit-canned just because of how, if it ain't his way, it's the goddamn highway. No. You have a new coaching regime coming in. Nathaniel Hackett's going to be fucking tossed quicker than a goddamn salad in prison. So here's the deal. Become the mentor for the next quarterback and take your pay cut, which is what he said on the Pat McAfee show with AJ Hawk, him and Pat talking this week. So I hope that's the case. I hope you can stick around, give one more season in New York, mentor a quarterback, show that you weren't fucking completely useless at the end of your career. Because honestly, you haven't gotten dick in fucking 2 years, Mr. Former MVP. Minnesota takes the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle 27-24. New England falls 21-24 to Buffalo in Buffalo. Josh Allen, by the way, in that game, your defense with 3 turnovers and your running back of 2 touchdowns and the hard-fought grit of that team won that game with Josh Allen doing what he had to manage it. But he didn't give us fantasy owners anything to look at with his 12 fucking points this week. But hey, everyone has an off week. I wish you the best of luck and hopefully a Super Bowl this year coming out of the AFC for the Bills. My prediction, fuck the Chiefs. Following up the games, you have Las Vegas winning this week. Go Raider Nation! 19-14 over the... Who the fuck is that even? Jacksonville Jaguars. That's who. Because apparently I can't read my own writing sometimes. Yeah, they lost 14-19 in Las Vegas to the Raiders. Raiders fucking punched that shit, though, man. I watched some of that game. They fought hard. They wanted that win. Antonio Pierce came out after as well in the press conference and said, because the reporter was basically like, what do you think about the draft positioning now? And he basically said, I don't give a shit. We wanted to win. We don't play this game for the fantasy football or for draft ordering for anything. We play to win the game. So reporter who asked the stupidest fucking question in the world, where did you get your shit? Where did you learn to do your fucking job? Why are you asking stupid fucking questions that all that you revolve around is you won 19-14? Done. Over with. Move on. You can ask questions about the game, how you got to that point, all that. Don't ask fucking draft positioning. Don't ask, well, shouldn't so-and-so get this many catches for the week? No. Look, I'm a fantasy football fanatic, but I might get upset, but I'm not going to go to the head coach and be like, you got to play this fucking guy. No. Don't be a fucking idiot as a reporter. Look, I'll take your goddamn job if you're going to ask stupid questions like that. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. Goddamn people, I tell you. San Francisco falls to the Miami Dolphins 29-17. And to wrap it up, Sunday Nighter 26-24. Dallas Cowboys over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as we already talked about a bit. To follow up from that game, though, I have Jerry Jones coming out on his morning radio show or whatever the fucking Dallas. Proud of his team on not giving up and winning 4 of their last 5 without Dak Prescott. Maybe you fucking trade his ass in the offseason. Just a thought. Let's stir the pot, shall we? My favorite time of year, man. My favorite time of year is coming into the playoffs and all the scenarios that come. We have a little bit of a breakdown of that for you. But to follow up the rest of the Around the League news, Deontay Johnson, acquired by the Ravens earlier this year at the trade deadline, released, claimed off waivers by none other than the Houston Texans. Why? Tank Dell, ladies and gentlemen, this week suffered a dislocated fucking kneecap and an ACL tear. I like the kid. I like him a lot. I like him in fantasy. I like him in real life. He's a down-to-earth dude. He is fucking CJ Stroud's fucking little buddy. And man, he got the shit end of the stick. And he's been banged around, and I wish him the best. But a dislocated kneecap like that? Yikes. He might be done. He might be done. Not just this season, but in general. So, good luck to Tank Dell. That will pretty much do it, I think, for around the league as we entered it into the Week 16 follow-up. Now, playoff scenarios. Week 17, moving on. We have LA Chargers, Denver Broncos. Need one win each. You win and you're in. Simple as that. Win and you're in. Good luck to both of you, because if you don't, and one of you loses your next two, man, I'm scared for you. I'm scared because both Indy, Dolphins, and the goddamn Cincinnati Bengals are all heaving on your ass, ready to fucking take that slot. That's all it is. They lose two, one of those teams wins two, they're in. Otherwise, Broncos, Chargers, just win your goddamn game week 16. That's all you got to do. Win and you're in, baby. Win and you're in. It's pretty much the AFC. Otherwise, the Bills have already clinched their division. Kansas City is like a win away from clinching number one. They've already clinched their division. Houston clinched their division already. Pittsburgh and Baltimore are fighting for that AFC North. So that'll be interesting down the stretch. I think they both split the series 1-1 this year. So a lot of good football left. NFC. NFC breaks down quite simply as this. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Atlanta wins their next two, or at least wins one, and matches whatever the Buccaneers do, basically. They either have to stay tied or gain a game on hand just because. They stay tied, they have the tiebreaker, they win division. That's their way to the playoffs. I don't see any team clinching a wild card with fucking Washington at 10-5, Green Bay at 10-4, minus tonight's game. You got freaking the Minnesota at goddamn 13-2, tied. Other than Detroit holds the tiebreaker at 13-2, so the NFC North isn't even decided yet. The Eagles, I don't even think have fully clinched the NFC East yet, because if they lose their next two and Washington wins, they clinch the NFC East. Not even Los Angeles. Here's the deal: Los Angeles, no one in the NFC has clinched division yet. Let's just put it that way. Detroit at 13-2 has the tiebreaker over Minnesota at 13-2. Green Bay's 10-4. You're going to have three teams coming out of the NFC North minus the Bears. You have 10-5 Washington, 12-3 fucking Philly. They're going to the playoffs. Then you got the shit show in the NFC South with the Buccaneers and Atlanta Falcons. Tied, Atlanta's in. As long as the Bucks gain a win over them, they're in. So there's your situation there. Los Angeles Rams win out, you're in, right? Arizona fucking lost. They're eliminated completely. You only have Seattle on your ass. But if Seattle ties, they have the tiebreaker and they take Los Angeles. So, I don't know. It's so tight. It's so tight. Yeah, so that's kind of your playoff breakdown. Los Angeles can get in their division. Atlanta can get in their division if they win out. You slip up, you got the Buccaneers on your ass. You slip up, you got the fucking Seattle Seahawks on your ass. So that's how that breaks down. And every other division still isn't decided. So 2 weeks left of football. It's exciting as shit. Let's get to it. Because in that, we jump to week 17 in your preview ahead, which quite simply leads up to this. Christmas Day. Christmas Day, we got you got two games, all right? You got Kansas City and Pittsburgh at 11 o'clock, General Mountain Standard Time. I think it's 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Baltimore at Houston for the 4:30 game slot. Then, jump forward to the next day. You got Seattle in Chicago, which will be a pivotal matchup for Seattle. All these games have implications, dude. You got Pittsburgh fighting for their division and wanting playoff seeding. You got Baltimore wanting the division and playoff seeding, along with Houston, who's just trying to survive somewhere in that clusterfuck. They're losing guys left, right, and center. They're fucking probably going to be out in the first round. If they do better, man, great coaching by D'Amico Ryans and that coaching staff, but they're hurt. They're hurting is the thing. They're hurting. So, gonna be a shit show Thursday, so whatever there. The 2 days later, go to Saturday, right? We got football all week. We got football Wednesday. We got football Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We got 5 days of football ahead. So this week 17 is huge. No bye weeks. Everything's done. We are huge. You got LA and New England. LA Chargers, by the way, at New England. New England's playing tough as shit. They almost beat the goddamn Bills yesterday. So, I don't know, Charger fans. Like, it's gonna be a good one. I hope you guys pull out a win. I hope you pull it out convincingly. That's what I hope to see. They're the 11 o'clock slot in my time zone. Huge implications this week for Denver and Cincinnati. Huge. You have Denver, who is needing a win to get in. You have Cincinnati traveling down their ass the way they are. If Cincy pulls out this win, they take the head-to-head against Denver and hope to the high heavens they lose the next week. Few other things happen, and they're in. Huge implications for this Saturday night's game in Cincinnati with Denver coming to town. So good luck. That's your afternoon game at 4:25 Eastern Standard. Then you go to the night game. We have Arizona. They have nothing left to play for other than to play goddamn spoiler against the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium. This will be a good matchup. Should be a high-scoring affair, I feel, or it's going to be a complete divisional shit show. I wish both teams the best of luck. I'm pretty sure if LA wins, they clinch division because they have a game up on... Well, no. Actually, it can go one of two ways. They got to win out, so they got to win both games. So that's just it. Seattle, probably is going to beat Chicago. Let's be realistic, right? And basically, the Rams are going to have to win to keep pace. Unless Chicago pulls out a victory on Thursday, we can really screw them then. And then they can win division. That's how that would work out. Following that up, you got the Sunday games, as always. Dallas and Philly. That'll be a divisional shit show. Honestly, Dallas could give Philly some problems. They could help Washington out. It'll be interesting. I don't think the Jets are going to take out the Bills this weekend, though. That's another morning game. Las Vegas in New Orleans. Okay, there it is. My New Orleans boys. Lando, Jake, Jer, Dusty, all of you. New Orleans ain't playing for much other than, rock'em sock'em robot points at this point. But I hope it's a hard fighting game. Because honestly, that should be a game they can win. Unless Las Vegas wants it more, I guess. But we'll find out. Indy in New York Giants. If the Giants can upset Indy this weekend, which I feel they have the ability to do. Tyrone Tracy's a fucking beast. That defense isn't bad. They're at the point of the season where it's like, fuck it. Right? Like, what else are you playing for other than draft positioning? Right? And spoiler. Spoiler's fun, though. Spoiler's really fun. So, good luck to the New York Giants. Tampa Bay and Carolina. Tampa Bay's got to have this one. Simple as that. They got to have this one. But Bryce Young and that Carolina Panthers team, they're coming on hot. They just beat Arizona last week in overtime. And they gave up the fucking lead in that game, too. So, connect the dots. Yeah, it could be a tight one. It could be Carolina helping the Falcons this weekend. Could be. Tennessee in Jacksonville. Divisional game, not much to say there. Both teams are out of playoffs. Tank Bigsby versus Tony Pollard and whatever receivers, right? If you got Brian Robinson Jr., start the fucking man. He's on fire right now. He's on fire. Probably won me my match this week, actually, in another pool. So, yeah. You got Miami traveling to Cleveland. Miami needs this game to continue the playoff hunt race, but I don't know. Cleveland might just come out and shitstorm them, honestly. That defense is still goddamn good. They're good. Green Bay and Minnesota. Huge implications in this game as far as who's going to win division, who's going to make a push for other spots. Huge. Green Bay wins tonight. They go to 11-4. They win next week. They drop the Vikings down to their 13-4. And, sorry, my bad, 13-3. Because they have a game on Green Bay right now. But Green Bay wins. They come to within that game. And take a fucking divisional head-to-head matchup. So it'll be interesting to see what transpires there. Either way, huge divisional game. Night game, we got Atlanta at Washington. Ooh, there's going to be some points scored here. Bijan Robinson and the rest of that crew ready to light it up with Michael Penix Jr. It's going to be fun to watch. Jaden Daniels off his 5-touchdown performance. Going to be fun to watch. I think it's going to be a tight game, more than people think. Because both teams defensively and offensively have played very well this year. Very well. So it's going to be a fun game to watch. Wrapping it all up. Detroit back in San Francisco, NFC title game last year. They just want to go in and slap it around a little bit, show them that we're the big dogs this year. We're going to be in the NFC. We're going to be the representatives, not fucking you. So Detroit's coming out to just solidify everything, be done with it. Enter next week. Hopefully they wrap everything up this weekend and they can just rest their fucking guys next week. But that will have to be determined in week 17. Because right now, New Orleans is going against Green Bay, and we don't even know the score of that game yet. But we're going to take a look after, because you know what it's time for? Near the end of episode 9 of the Beardown Corner. But that doesn't mean that we won't be back next week for episode 10, right? And getting you back up to speed with all your information and stats and around the league stuff. We'll have more stories and whatever else next week. We just kind of wanted to get this holiday edition of the Dick Hank productions of the Beardown Corner with yours truly, Sergeant Cornholio, out to you so you can get your fill for the week. And that's pretty much a wrap. So you all take care of yourself. Thank you for tuning in. From us here, from our family to yours, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever else you might cheer, believe, and celebrate. All the love to you. Peace out. Take care of yourself. And until the next time, be safe. We love y'all, and we will be back.